different seminars and webinars on the issues of politics, economy, development, and many other issues. In last 1 month, this is our third webinar. We did a webinar on American election and its impact on Asia just 3 weeks back. And then also after the Myanmar election, also we had a very interesting discussion on impact on Myanmar election on Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh. So this is generally we kind of a thing we are doing, and we are very happy to have this webinar today with partnership with School of Business and Economics. So with that note, I will complete my introductory speech. But before handing it over to Professor Abdul Hannan, I just want to say that this topic of today's discussion is very important from South Asian perspective also. As a South Asian institute, we also feel that we need to know more about the impact of RCEP on South Asia and also in Bangladesh. And as we all know that on average, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, their internal exports to each other is very less, like less than 2% of their total export. And South Asia is one of the least connected region comparing with ASEAN or European Union. So this RCEP is a new opportunity and might be also challenge, and that we need to discuss in today's webinar and try to see that whether we can, what kind of the possibility we can have in future for Bangladesh and maybe South Asia also. So with that note, I am now handing the floor to Professor Abdul Hannan. He is the Dean of School of Business and Economics, and for his introductory speech. Professor Hannan.
Thank you, Dr. Taufik, the Director of SIPG North-South University, and also Ambassador Shahidul Haq, the Senior Fellow of SIPG North-South University, distinguished panelist, Barrister Nihat Kobir, President Metropolitan Chamber of Chamber and Industry, Professor Gaurav Govindo, Economics Department of North-South University, Mr. Farooq Ahmed, Secretary General, Bangladesh Employers Federation, Ambassador Riyaz Hamidullah, Bangladesh Ambassador to the Netherlands, Mr. MJH Javed, Director General, Southeast Asia Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Taufikur Rahman, Head, LDC Development Division, World Trade Organization, Geneva, and Professor Salim Rahan, Professor of Economics, Dhaka University, Mr. Ifti Islam, Chairman and co-founder of Asian Tigers Capitals. They are distinguished panelists and participants. Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you all in the webinar on Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Challenges and Options for Bangladesh, which is jointly organized by our School of Business and Economics and also South Asian Policy and Governance of North-South University. I would like to welcome all of you for giving us time in this valuable session on a very pertinent issue on RCEP. As we all know, recently, 15 Asia-Pacific economies have signed for a mega trade pact, what many of us refer to as the world's largest free trade agreement, which covers almost 30% of the global population and about 30% of the global GDP. Certainly, this RCEP will bring more opportunities for trade within the region. However, for Bangladesh, this mega trade bloc, RCEP, appears to have hardly any attractions. Bangladesh yet not try to join RCEP, as the policymakers are still in dilemma about viability or feasibility of free trade agreement and loss of revenue. So far, we have not seen any interest from our part to engage us with this mega trade deal. So the question remains, what is this new trade deals means to Bangladesh? Why Bangladesh did not join in RCEP? What would be the impact of RCEP trade deal on our economy in the upcoming years? Can Bangladesh maintain its competitiveness with RCEP countries? What are the vital issues related to the provisions of RCEP? What are the challenges of RCEP trade deal for Bangladesh? Are we going to gain or lose in the long run by not participating in the RCEP? I think today's session, our distinguished panelists would bring these issues in their discussion, whether Bangladesh has made appropriate decision by not joining this trade deal, or we are not at all even invited to join. We are going to hear from our distinguished panelists about all those. The RCEP, will progressively lower tariffs, we know, and it aims to counter protectionism. It is going to boost investment, allow freer movement and goods and within the region. Bangladesh will be challenged by the new trade bloc, as these mega trade deals are not confined within trade only. It creates opportunities for investment, more technology transfer, and increased supply chains. Bangladesh should benefit tremendously from joining the bloc. For one thing, the most likely beneficiary of this will be the poorest people who will benefit from lower cost. This just does not happen from elimination of tariff. The new competition will force the domestic producers to be more efficient economically. Not joining means the poorest miss out the most of the potentials. We can produce many basic products at fairly low cost. There will be new market for these products, and we get to learn more about the consumption habits of neighboring countries. We learn to produce those and sell those which we will not do with lack of familiarity with those economies. Because of our low labor cost, producers, manufacturers may expect it to set up more industries in Bangladesh, creating more job opportunities. It is likely that theory of comparative advantage will lead to more profitable specializations in Bangladesh. And gravity theory is also real. In the long run, trade with our neighbors will increase, and we must not overlook the markets we can have in our neighboring countries. We are quite good at new developing technologies. Familiarity with those developing countries like Chinese and Korean technologies will open up many new technology-related opportunities in our country and also in the region. These doors will remain closed. In addition, the potential fund for such investment will not be available. Maybe not joining this trade bloc is a major disservice to our future generation. I'm positive today's discussion session will benefit many of our students who are inquisitive about RCEP, and our faculty members, those who are involved in doing research in this domain. And of course, business entities of Bangladesh, policymakers, and our government of Bangladesh for taking policy decision. I thank the SIPG, especially Ambassador Shahidul Haq, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is yet not there. He's going to join, Professor Atiq Islam, for giving us opportunity to hold this very vital and pertinent webinar on such important issue. Thank you very much. I would request at this moment Ambassador Shahidul Haq, Senior Fellow SIPG, to moderate the rest of the session. And we are going to close the session with our Vice Chancellors, who is going to give the closing speech. Thank you very much. Once again, the distinguished panelists, to consider North-South University is your esteemed institutions to discuss so very vital issues. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Hanan. Also, thanks goes to Professor Tawfiq for being instrumental in organizing this webinar. So welcome to this on my behalf. We already stepped into a new world, and this new world is different than the world that we were used to even a year back. We behave differently, we consume differently, and we will also produce differently. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is the way we used to create wealth before the pandemic. The way we used to travel have gone through a fundamental shift, and the shift continues a rather very rapid speed. So that's the other aspects. Now, trade and investment and business is no exception to that rapid transformation. It is also going through a difficult phase, but there are also new ways of doing business and innovation comes in. So this is what we are going to talk about, but we'll center around this debate onto our RCEP, which is the one of the regional trade mechanism that has been set up. Now, this is a new kid on the street, and it's quite a big deal to use American words.